Nature's fury. Volcanoes are one of the most fascinating and destructive forces of nature. They have been shaping our planet for millions of years, and their power and beauty continue to captivate us to this day. In this video, we will explore the science behind volcanoes, their different types, and the impact they have on our planet and our lives. Aerial shots of different volcanoes around the world, lava flows, volcanic eruptions, and volcanic landscapes. Volcanoes are formed when magma, which is molten rock, rises from the Earth's mantle and reaches the surface. This can happen in different ways, depending on the type of volcano. Animation showing the different types of volcano shield, cinder cone, and composite and how they are formed. Shield volcanoes are the largest and most common type of volcano. They are formed by a steady flow of lava that spreads out in all directions, creating a broad, shield-shaped mountain. Cinder cone volcanoes, on the other hand, are smaller and steeper. They are formed by explosive eruptions that eject lava fragments and ash into the air, which then fall back to the ground and pile up around the vent. Composite volcanoes, also known as stratovolcanoes, are the most dangerous type of volcano. They are formed by alternating layers of lava and ash, which can create explosive eruptions that can be deadly. Close-up shots of different types of volcanoes, with labels and captions explaining their characteristics. Volcanoes can have a profound impact on our planet and our lives. They can create new land, destroy entire cities, and affect the climate. In the next segments of this video, we will explore these impacts in more detail. While volcanoes are often associated with destruction and danger, they also have many benefits. One of the most significant benefits of volcanoes is their ability to create new land. Aerial shots of volcanic islands, such as Hawaii and Iceland, and time-lapse footage of volcanic eruptions creating new land. When lava flows from a volcano and cools, it solidifies into rock, creating new land. Over time, this new land can become fertile soil, which is ideal for agriculture. Many of the world's most productive agricultural regions, such as the Nile River Valley and the Pacific Northwest, are located on or near volcanic soil. Shots of fertile farmland on volcanic soil, with captions explaining the benefits of volcanic soil for agriculture. Volcanoes also have important mineral resources. When magma cools and solidifies, it can form valuable minerals such as gold, silver, and copper. Volcanic ash, which is rich in nutrients, can also be used as a fertilizer. Shots of mining operations in volcanic regions, with captions explaining the importance of volcanic minerals. In addition to their economic benefits, volcanoes also have cultural significance. Many cultures around the world have myths and legends about volcanoes, and they are often considered sacred or spiritual places. Shots of cultural sites and ceremonies related to volcanoes, with captions explaining their cultural significance. While the benefits of volcanoes are significant, it's important to remember that they can also be dangerous. In the next segment, we will explore the risks associated with volcanoes. While volcanoes have many benefits, they also pose significant risks to people and the environment. One of the most immediate risks associated with volcanoes is the threat of volcanic eruptions. Shots of volcanic eruptions, lava flows, and ash clouds. Volcanic eruptions can be explosive and unpredictable, and they can cause significant damage to buildings, infrastructure, and crops. They can also release toxic gases and ash into the air, which can pose a threat to human health. Shots of damaged buildings and infrastructure, with captions explaining the impact of volcanic eruptions on communities. In addition to the immediate risks of volcanic eruptions, there are also long-term risks associated with living near a volcano. Volcanic ash can cause respiratory problems and can contaminate water supplies. The ash can also damage crops and livestock, leading to food shortages and economic hardship. Shots of ash-covered landscapes, with captions explaining the long-term impact of volcanic ash on communities. Another risk associated with volcanoes is the potential for lahars, which are fast-moving mudflows that can be triggered by volcanic activity. Lahars can be deadly, and they can cause significant damage to infrastructure and communities. Shots of lahars and their impact on communities, with captions explaining the dangers of lahars. Despite the risks associated with volcanoes, many people choose to live near them. In our next segment, we will explore why people choose to live near volcanoes and how they can prepare for volcanic activity. Despite the risks associated with living near volcanoes, many people choose to do so. There are several reasons why people choose to live near volcanoes, including the benefits of volcanic soil, the beauty of volcanic landscapes, and cultural and spiritual connections to volcanoes. Shots of communities near volcanoes, with captions explaining the reasons why people choose to live near them. While living near a volcano can be risky, there are steps that people can take to prepare for volcanic activity. One of the most important steps is to have an emergency plan in place. Shots of emergency preparedness plans and drills, with captions explaining the importance of emergency preparedness. Emergency plans should include evacuation routes, emergency supplies, and communication plans. It's also important to stay informed about volcanic activity and to follow the advice of local authorities. Shots of emergency supplies and communication plans, with captions explaining the importance of staying informed and following local authorities. In addition to emergency preparedness, there are also measures that can be taken to mitigate the risks associated with living near a volcano. These measures include building structures that can withstand volcanic activity, such as reinforced concrete buildings, and planting vegetation that can help stabilize volcanic soil. Shots of reinforced concrete buildings and vegetation on volcanic soil, with captions explaining the importance of these measures. Despite the risks associated with living near volcanoes, many people continue to do so. In the next segment, we will explore the impacts of volcanoes on the environment and the global climate. Volcanoes have a significant impact on the environment and the global climate. When a volcano erupts, it can release large amounts of gases and particles into the atmosphere, which can have both short-term and long-term effects. Shots of volcanic ash and gases being released into the atmosphere, with captions explaining their impact on the environment and climate. In the short term, volcanic eruptions can cause cooling of the Earth's surface due to the reflection of sunlight by the particles in the atmosphere. This cooling effect can last for several years and can have significant impacts on agriculture and the global climate. Shots of the cooling effect of volcanic eruptions on the Earth's surface, with captions explaining the impact on agriculture and the global climate. In the long term, volcanic activity can also have significant impacts on the environment. Volcanic ash can alter soil chemistry and nutrient availability, which can affect plant growth and biodiversity. It can also affect water quality and aquatic ecosystems. Shots of the impact of volcanic ash on soil and water quality, with captions explaining the impact on plant growth and biodiversity. Despite the risks and impacts associated with volcanoes, they also play an important role in shaping our planet and our lives. They create new land, provide valuable mineral resources, and have cultural and spiritual significance. Shots of the benefits of volcanoes, with captions summarizing the key points. By understanding the science behind volcanoes and the risks and benefits associated with them, we can better prepare for volcanic activity and appreciate the power and beauty of these natural wonders. Shots of volcanic landscapes and communities near volcanoes, with captions encouraging viewers to appreciate the power and beauty of volcanoes. Thank you for watching this video on volcanoes, nature's fury.